ladies and gentlemen. Bonjour, habari zenu, jambo. Now, my name is Joshua Okayo, and as always, this is IMCS MIEC Media Africa. I'm telling you, today we are not in the studio, in the closures of studio, but we are somewhere outside to set the setting for the conversation that we want to have today. Now, today is a different day. It's a unique day because I have a guest coming all the way from the western part of Africa. Guess who? Well, you know him, I know him. But at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome our guest today in studio, the one and only, Albert Bando. Now, if you didn't know, Mr. Albert Bando is the sub-regional coordinator, in fact, West African sub-regional coordinator of IMCS Africa. Welcome so much, bro. Welcome to Nairobi.
Thank you very much.
What is thank you in Swahili?
Asante.
Sorry?
Asante. Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
Welcome. So, how do you find Nairobi? How is it?
Okay. Thank you very much for this wonderful question. Nairobi has always been a very nice place for me because, as you know, today or this time has not been the first time coming here. My first time I came here, I was really welcomed. Everything was so nice to me, so I've really enjoyed, and I'll forever enjoy Nairobi.
Good. So, what brings you to Nairobi, man? This is not your country. I know that's harsh, but this is not your country. What brings you to Nairobi?
Yeah, very well. First and foremost, let me give credit to IMCS Pax Romana because we have as part of our thematic areas climate action. And then since then, I've been able to communicate in my country to also participate fully in this process. And due to that, I had a chance to be selected to join the African Youth Climate Summit to be held in Nairobi. And that's why I'm here for this wonderful program.
Also, you're actually part of the delegates who are at the Africa Climate Summit,
Very well, very
Youth
well.
Climate Summit
Very well,
in Nairobi,
sure.
KICC.
Very well.
How has it been? How was the conversations there, and how was you were staged generally during the AYCS, right? Is it
Very
Africa
well.
Youth Conference Climate Summit?
Yeah, very well.
Good. Now because as I started the introduction, I said you're the current sub-regional coordinator of the Western Africa, yeah,
Yes.
IMCS,
Very well.
and I think that is something we really need to talk about because we have to delve much into what you are doing as a sub-regional coordinator and what you have been able to do for now 9 months, could be 9 months because I remember you got into office in December 2022,
Sure.
and probably what you have, your vision that you have for the next 3 to 4 years, because you're going to be there for the next 3 to 4 years as you serve together with the Pan-African coordinators.
Yeah.
Now, first, how is it like being a sub-regional coordinator of IMCS?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me start by giving my experience as a national president in Ghana. You know, in my country, Ghana, you just have to be in office for just a year, and then within 1 year you are gone. And then you also work with people only in that country, one language, and you are good to go. So that, in a way, makes it a bit flexible. But when I traveled to Kenya and I had that portfolio to become the coordinator for West Africa, indeed, I thought so much about it. But I felt that I can do it. Why would I say that I was thinking about it? Because of the language barrier. I'm not into French. I can't speak French. So gradually, I've been forced to learn French, which I'm really also trying to learn very well. So when I had a mandate, I didn't take it to be very easy. But I believe with hard work and dedication, I'll be able to achieve the vision I have for the West African movement.
We have had a challenge with the sub-regional coordination because myself, since I joined IMCS, the sub-regional coordination has not been really an active office. It's been sort of very inactive. I remember at some point I could be called to represent the East African sub-region in the council meeting when probably the sub-regional coordinator is not able to be reached or something like that. So what are you planning to make, or rather what difference are you planning to make?
Okay, thank you very much. I have a vision, and for me, if I will not perform, I don't accept the task. But once I avail myself to accept the task, it means I will work up to expectation. That's my policy. I don't know whether you've heard about West Africa before or being a strong movement before, but maybe in the next 2, 3 years to come, once you are here, you will hear about maybe an active sub-regional movement. And I must tell you, it's going to be West Africa.
Oh, really?
Very well.
How many years are you giving us?
Probably in the next 1 year to 2 years.
1 to 2 years.
You're already in the 9th month.
Mm.
So let's say 1 year is gone.
1 year is
But
gone
in the
now.
next 2 years, you will see West Africa on top of the sub-regions.
Okay, so Mr. Bando, you are 9 months into office. What have you been able to do for the West African sub-region, IMCS?
Thank you very much. 9 months, I feel it's not too much for me. And then whenever I've said, my first year is always for preparation. But I must tell you, at least, you've done a lot because there were so many issues in West Africa. So I tried to implement what I was doing as a national president in Ghana into the West Africa to see whether it's going to work. And
what is that?
I feel it's working.
What is that?
First one is about a constant visits, to national movements. So my first visit was in Togo. So I had a chance
Wait,
to.
you have actually gone to visit Togo?
Very well.
Oh, nice.
Very well. Very well. And then my issue was only with French. But thanks be to God, the current coordinator for Pan Africa was present. So he was able to translate. That is Stanislas.
You know, there are two, so probably I would.
Yeah, very well. Yeah, very well. Very well. So at least he was able to translate everything for me in French. So basically, I had a good time there. And when I went there, you see people are very happy to know about the West African movement. And then they are willing to support. They are willing to participate in whatever we do as a West African movement. Also, I've been able to organize meetings for all national presidents within West Africa to know their issues, their challenges, so that we can also know how best we can be able to help them solve these issues. Yeah, and then one interesting thing, I feel that to be able to be known, it's about social media. Or social media has influence on you being known. So I've been able to also form a Facebook platform for the West African movement. And formerly, there were no official means of communicating within the movement. So now we have an official email address.
For the West African sub-region.
Very well.
Wow.
Very well. So from hence, you are going to communicate through the social media officially. So it wouldn't be like people with their personal accounts in communicating issues, which is concerning the West African movement. So God being so good, we also been able to bring all the national leaders together on one common platform. That we share ideas very well. WhatsApp, we share ideas together and so many things. So basically, I think this is just the beginning.
Yes.
And before you can do well, the basis has to be very strong. So we are trying to strengthen the basis, the foundation. And when we are we're able to get that done, I believe we can move smoothly.
Wow.
To make West Africa proud.
Nice. You know, for an office that has never had really a substantive blueprint on how things should be done, I can say you've actually done a lot. Honestly, because there's nothing really guiding. Well, I wouldn't say there's nothing guiding because everything is covered under the IMCS platform under Africa. But then the office has not had some guidance on how things should be done and all that kind of stuff. And I'm happy to hear that you have initiated some of the things that will be very important insofar as communications and marketing the West African, the movement in the West African region is concerned. And of course, with that comes, the interest of students. They want to join and see really what happens, and they want to make networks in every country. There was, someone in Togo wants to meet someone in Ghana, Nigeria, like that. Wow, that is so amazing. The work you've done is amazing, bro. And keep up. We are here to give you support. We are here to make things known as we go by. All right, now the next thing we want to talk about IMCS Africa. Now, IMCS Africa generally, and currently, I think you've seen the work that IMCS Africa is doing on synodality. And IMCS Africa is contributing to the synodal church. We are in a synod journey, and we just want to listen to everyone and to get everyone's opinion, everyone's views, and to ensure that everyone is contributing to the success of the church in Africa. What is your opinion insofar as synodality in Africa is concerned?
All right, thank you very much. Personally, I feel synodality is about making everyone's voice heard. Yeah, and I think it's not very new to me. Even during my time as a national president, I was able to implement one of these projects. During a national conference, we had a time where people were grouped into various sessions. We had to we call on one doctor, Dr. Nora, is very much into synodality, and then he gave us extensive idea on that aspect. We group ourselves into various groups, and then we shared our common ideas to present to the Bishops' Conference of Ghana, so that they can include that in their outcomes from the Catholic youth in Ghana.
Yeah.
So it's not something new to me. So when I heard about Pax Romana Africa doing it the same way, I was very glad and I was very happy. And I had to encourage my people in Ghana to also participate fully. So it was not new to Ghanaian people, since we already been doing it. So I feel it is good that our voices have been heard, especially as youth, because we are the future of the church. So if our voices are not heard now, tomorrow we will not be willing to even give out the best we have. So I think it is good, and I really commend the movement for coming up with such an initiative. But I feel we should be able to push so that at least our voices are heard at the higher level of the church. The Pope must hear this.
The Pope must hear this.
Very well.
Yeah. So are you promising your full support to the initiative and to ensuring that the church in Africa is a listening church and the youth are listened to, the youth are heard, and the youth's opinions are taken seriously?
Very well. Even as a leader, yeah, I make sure my other colleague executives' voices are heard. I don't try to be autocratic, and even we also try to listen to the voice of the people to influence our decisions. So I'm very much promising my support that Africa's voice is heard. Very well.
And of course, even as you listen to Mr. Bando tell us about his promise for the support of the synodality initiative in Africa, you people and myself and everyone else, the IMCS in Africa, we all need to come together for this same cause, because it is definitely a just cause. And one thing I normally tell you is that when the cause is just, conquer we must. So this is a just cause. We have to conquer at the very end, because our voices must be heard. And as Bando said, this will get to the Pope.
The Pope must hear our voice.
The Pope must hear our voice.
Very well.
Thank you so much.